everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World with Zena Keita. I'm Kerith, Burke. Wonderful to be back. And we got to see the Dubs start the new year, 2024, with a win. Now, the last thing we heard from Steve Curry after that Mavericks loss was the team needed to play with more grit, more togetherness. How did they do in those departments tonight?
I think that was exactly what they ticked off on their New Year's resolutions. They came in with energy. Yeah. They came in a little bit more connected, which Steve Kerr mentioned. And he really loved the energy off the bench tonight. There's a lot we're going to talk about tonight as far as how everyone else played on the court. But on the bench, you definitely saw them coming together, energizing each other, and really making sure that they were focused on getting a dub. And that's what they did.
Okay, we talk about the bench a lot this season.
Yeah.
They have had high-scoring games. In some games, they have saved this team.
Yeah.
But why is bench energy important? As a former player, spell it out for us.
Well, sometimes you can be a player on the court that is so enveloped in what's going on the floor that you don't understand that the energy you're giving off can actually be an energy sucker. It can be a drainer. And so when you're so focused on maybe a mistake that you made, a turnover that you had, you have to let that go. And guess who can help you pick your chin up? Someone that had nothing to do with that play. Someone that was just watching you and cheering you on. And so you want someone to be on the bench to be always aware of, hey, that person needs a little bit of a lift. I see that they're still stuck in the play before. We got to move on. We got a game to win. So bench energy is always huge, just to get you out of your own head and back into the game.
All right, well, one guy we knew who was going to bring the energy tonight, Steph Curry. Come on. Number 30, our BMW Ultimate Performer, 36 points to lead the team, 6 assists to lead the team. But it was always Steph that had those big buckets that kept the Magic out of this game, because the Magic tried to keep creeping back into this game.
Oh, yeah.
But Steph had those daggers that said, not tonight.
Absolutely not. And the thing about what Steph did tonight was he helped relieve pressure off of this team. You wouldn't want to call this like a redemption game. There's been some concerns around his offensive production recently. There's some struggles that he's had.
Listen, we can call it a slump.
It's a slump, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But not tonight.
But not tonight, exactly. He was definitely at the top of that hill tonight. But you absolutely saw what he, yes, Andre.
Freezer. Andre's going to come through.
Steph cold. Freezing, below temperature. I understand. I agree. I'm with you, Andre. Honestly, exactly what the Warriors needed, because when the Warriors go through a Steph slump, it's a Warrior slump, right? I think there's Marcus Thompson tweeted, when the Warriors do not have Steph scoring 30-plus points, they're 5-12. So it adds another level of concern when your best player isn't producing in the way that you want him to. And so he kind of, like I said, not necessarily a redemption game, but a pressure relieving game in that, okay, we don't have to worry about Steph anymore. Let's focus on the other things that we need to make sure that we bring every night.
Well, it can't be Steph against the world. It can't be one against
That's
five.
true.
You have a superstar player, but there has to be a supporting cast as well. And as we were talking about Steph's slump a little bit, or when he has down games, I always think, okay, well, what's the defense doing against him, and what can everybody else contribute? Tonight, lots of contributions. Look at this, 1 through 5 in the starting lineup with at least double-digit scoring. Also have Pods and Wiggs with 10 points apiece. The Warriors got their offense from everywhere tonight to help out Steph. This game felt pretty balanced.
And that's the thing from the beginning. I think the very first quarter, 8 assists to only 2 turnovers. And when you think about what the Warriors have struggled with this year, it's been wanting to balance the aggressiveness on offense with taking care of the ball. And they did that really, really well. Just being able to pass the ball around, get everyone involved, and then making sure that they were taking care of the ball and making sure that they were getting buckets at the same time.
There you go. The Warriors averaged 15 turnovers, only 12 tonight, fewer than the Magic with 18. I'm looking at one thing on the box score. If the Warriors made their free throws tonight, this would have been a lot easier. But they still got that W.
Just a little bit of heartburn with that one.
13 free throws in this game.
13 free throws,
well, because when you look at it, when there's 15 lead changes in this game, when the Warriors have to have that toughness, when they have to have that grit, this is one of those games where things were close. Yeah. Things were close. So looking at the quarter breakdowns, 2 points, 2 points. The Warriors led by 6 after the third quarter. That's what won this game.
1,000%.
Yeah.
When you also look at, there were so many elements of the game that when you think about the fact that the Warriors won this and then you look at the stats, you're like, how? Literally how? They missed those 13 free throws. They also, even though they had less turnovers, there were more points scored off of those turnovers than the Warriors scored off of the Magic's turnovers. They also lost the bench battle. They also lost the battle in the paint. And they lost the battle on the boards. There were a lot of battles lost tonight, but I think what was different was the dog in them.
Okay.
Right? The aggressiveness to keep going at the basket regardless of the fact that things weren't necessarily going their way in that aspect. And honestly, there's not much you can do when it comes down to size.
All right, so this was no, there's not. As someone who
there's
has to
something
wear,
to do about your heart,
Yeah.
but you can't do anything much about your height.
as someone who has to wear heels to be next to Festus or be next to you,
There you go.
I know the answer to that. Yeah. No, to your point, like the magic 1 points in the paint, second chance point, fast break points, and they always seem to almost have an answer for the Warriors. There were a
Yeah.
couple moments where I thought, this Warriors lead, it's not going to stay.
Yeah.
But the Warriors proved. It's nice to get proven wrong. This was a heart game, I would say.
1,000%. Between Stephen Curry dropping the buckets that he did, and then also having players come around him. You think about the fact that Stephen Curry had 35 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Person right next to him, Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes, let's go there.
Okay, Jonathan Kuminga, I thought, utilized his points tonight so incredibly well. In the very beginning of the game in the first quarter, he was taken out and he was mad about it because he was playing really well. He was making his buckets, he was attacking well, closing out, doing all the things that you need him to do, but he had to take it out. Wiggins came in for him. You saw him go to the bench, a little bit upset. When he came back, he made it difficult for anyone to question whether he should be on the floor or not. And he came out and did exactly what he needed to do. Look at that monster block. I mean, the recovering
Take it to
on
him right
defense,
there.
taking
Yeah.
it to them in the paint.
Yeah.
He did everything well. Now, didn't shoot the three-point well, right? Got
Okay.
that one bucket.
Okay.
Got that one bucket from three, but that's okay.
Yeah.
He made up for between his assists. I mean, looking 4 assists. And this is the big one for Jonathan. Only 1 turnover.
There you go.
That's a great ratio, especially for someone that plays as aggressive as he does and takes it to the basket and also plays as fast-paced as he does. You wonder with JK. When he goes into the basket, you know he's going to go hard, you know he's going to go fast, and he's going to go strong. But you get concerned about is once he gets down there and the defense meets him, is he going to be able to pass it out, kick it out? And tonight and in recent games, you've seen he is a really great decision maker.
Yeah, he led the team in rebounds tonight as well with 6. So when he's on the floor for 34 minutes, you can see what he can do. He can reach that comfortability right there. In the starting lineup, in the closing lineup, JK performing for this team. Now, there was a moment when JK had a flagrant foul, and I'm sitting next to Zena up there on press row. She's breaking this down for me. So listen, let's put her in the analyst seat. This is where she's good. What happened on this play? Because right away, CP3 grabbed these guys. Look, do you see him right there?
Right there.
Right
He's
there.
talking to him.
What is CP3 telling JK and Trace?
So this is a play that broke down from the pick and roll, and you don't quite see the pick and roll in this video. But 35, Badazzi set up that pick and roll for Wagner, and as he was coming off, JK was beat. And whenever you are beat on a pick and roll, you have got to let your man switch. Now, the issue is that Trayce Jackson-Davis didn't clearly switch. You saw in the video that they looked like elevator doors, allowing Wagner to come through. Trayce Jackson-Davis has to come over, leave his post player behind and say, okay, it's over. I now got your man, go get mine. And he didn't. And because he didn't look as if he had him, what did JK do? He stayed with his player, kept trying to play defense, and what happens? He ended up fouling from behind. So that's what CP3 couldn't help. He was on ball with someone in the corner. So all he could do was hedge. And he had to go back to his player. So I'm sure that CP3 was saying, Trace, pick him up. That's you now. Don't let your man think, don't let your teammate think that, oh, maybe he's got it. No. Let him know. Rotate. This ain't your business anymore. Okay?
Okay. Teamwork. Be there for your brother. Everybody pick it up the rope.
go.
Because I can imagine in JK's head, he's got to be hearing voices like a coach saying, try harder on defense. Don't give up an easy bucket. He's like, okay, time to hack.
Correct. And that's the thing, especially with younger players, because there's an aspect, an element of heart and hustle. And you're like, and you saw him. He had a block earlier in the game where he was able to recover and block from behind. The issue is when your man's already there, aka your teammate, Trayce Jackson-Davis, is already there, let him come in front. He was in position to get in front, but he slid. He slid alongside him. So he's got to get in front, cut him off, and allow JK to rotate. And hopefully, once TJD gets in front of Wagner, he passes it out. and now the defense resets.
Gotcha. I'm looking at this thinking 34 minutes for JK. So only Steph had more shots, attempting 20 field goals. JK with 14 there. I like this. I like him being in the starting lineup. I like him being in the closing lineup. And maybe there's going to be more flux because Draymond does have to return.
Right.
But in this moment, what do you think JK can show the coaches, the team, about who he is this season?
Well, the good news is he is showing what he needs to be showing from an offensive perspective and also a decision-making perspective. When you think about JK and the concerns that he had in the previous year, it was all about his maturity on the court as well as off the court. And you're seeing that maturity and that elevation and that improvement on the court for sure. As he continues to get better and he has a legitimate argument for more playing time, his maturity off the court and being able to be okay with decisions being made around whether he's on or off, and his maturity to handle those decisions, that's, I think, what he continues to work on and he can continue to improve upon. You saw him recently had some comments around the minutes, right? And then didn't have such a great game following that, okay? But then tonight, he mentioned and he gave credit to Steve Kerr. He said thank you, and he appreciates him and he credits him for giving him the space to show the elevation in his game.
There you go.
And so at all times, I think that JK, the talent is undeniable.
Yeah.
The talent is undeniable. He can go anywhere. He can be in any position. He can play anyone on the floor. He's going to be able to do it. But what he needs to work on is making sure that he's always showing that team aspect and that he can be that teammate and that brother, regardless of if his minutes are up or down, regardless if his performance is up or down.
Okay, let's see if he can make the most of these minutes, more opportunities ahead. All right, we got to talk about GP2 coming up after the break, taking a look at the video, this injury, a hamstring strain. We need to talk about how it's going to impact the team going forward. When Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World, continues.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Mancini Sleep World. Visit Mancini Sleep World. We'll pay the sales tax on select mattresses. Or visit sleepworld.com.
Hey everybody, we're back on YouTube Live.
What's up, YouTube?
Zena and Kerith
Look
here.
at me on the other side. This is
I
cool.
know,
This is really cool.
This is really good.
I'm
This is really nice.
particularly excited about this duo right here. This is pretty
Well, thank
dope.
you.
This is pretty dope.
It's nice to see you. Oh, we have some
It's
nice
lovely.
comments here. Two faves together. Yay, yay, yay.
No, this is so
Lots
cool.
of heart emojis.
Welcome back. Yeah,
Thank
seriously.
you.
Oh,
Thank you. You guys.
no, the goat's back, y'all.
Oh, come on.
The person that taught me everything I know when I was in that chair is
Listen,
back,
listen.
and we are very happy. And I'm also like really excited because this is like a new role for me to be doing the analyst role.
Yeah, well,
and
you nailed it. When she can break down tape like
I
that,
appreciate
that's good.
that.
No, that's very good.
Oh my God, guys, literally getting coached live on YouTube. Here we
Stop
are.
it.
Here we are.
Stop it. This can't just be a compliment fest. I mean, it
I
can.
know, I know.
It can. Do you want it to be? Thank you, everybody, for the kind comments. I have been on maternity leave for the last 4 months. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
My little guy better be asleep right now. Yeah, he's asleep.
Okay,
He's
good.
asleep. Yep. My mom says hi, Kerith. What's up, person's mom? Hello, hello. Lots of Happy New Year's in here.
Yes, Happy
yeah,
New
this
Year.
is the way to
Wait,
start. And look,
I
I
was
know,
gonna say, yeah.
I know it's one game, but to hear the players and the coaches in the tunnel afterwards say 2024, 1-0, it means something to him.
Yep.
There's a page turning for a new year, literally on the calendar. And I know I feel good coming back here. This is a fresh start for everybody.
Look at you.
1-0.
That's right. 1-0. And 1-0 when Kerith's back. So good luck.
No,
And
don't put that on me.
Okay, my bad.
No.
But you know, Steph said this. Steph said that this part of the year was going to be a way to check
Yes.
how they are. So I'm
Yes.
happy that they started
Yes.
with a win.
I agree. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World. GP2, coming off that calf injury, his second game back, and we saw him limp off the court. I hate to show you this video, but let's
right.
review what happened. This was concerning. Look right here. Non-contact.
Non-contact.
And then you'll see on a replay, he's grabbing his left hamstring right there. The Warriors announced it is a left hamstring strain. Okay, maybe stop the video. He stumbled there in the third quarter. And as he left, you can see how frustrated he is, right? You know the word on the tip of his tongue right here as he left. And then afterward, he tweeted something that was kind of indicating that he knew he was going to get bad news. You can look up that tweet for yourself because it contains a naughty word we cannot say.
Of course.
Everybody wishing the best for GP2. Steve Kerr saying, we hope it's not a long-term injury. When I think of GP2, his impact on the team, especially his defense, his energy, we really hope this isn't something long-term. He just went through something long-term.
Absolutely. There's so many different elements there as far as if it is something serious, how bad it can be for GP2, but also for this Warriors team. Obviously, GP2, 15 games he's already missed this year out of 33. 15 out of 33, almost 50% not being able to be there for his team. And you know that's all he wants to do. Chris Paul just mentioned people don't realize this, and maybe they do. I think anyone watching the games knows this about GP2, that he is an energy bringer. He is an energy source for this Warriors team, and that is what he prides himself on. And so him not being able to be there for his brothers, we just interviewed him. That's what he said he wanted, what he saw when he was on the bench, what he wanted to bring, to say that he now can't do that in the player form, but also from a GP2 mental perspective, right? When you aren't able to be that person for your team, be the thing that you know you can bring consistently, that's tough. It's tough to go through rehab. It's tough to go to the gym every day and see everyone doing the thing that you love to do, and then also not being able to be a part of that with your brothers. It's hard. So same here. You know, I think everyone around the Warriors organization watching it, around the league really, sees a player like that. That's the last thing you want.
Yeah, I think people know his story, the way that he toiled in the G League, the way he fought for this opportunity, the way that he made his mark with the Warriors. Then there was that trade that the Warriors regretted, clearly. Then there was the ab
They got him
injury.
back.
Yes, then the calf injury. And it's like, can this dude just please get a break? Please, GP2 is like one of
Not
the
a
league's
physical
good guys.
one, but yeah.
Correct. Phrasing. No, but I think everybody's behind him. One of the league's good guys, and you just really hope. I personally, I want him to get some momentum. I want him to show what he can do. And there's these starts and stops, unfortunately, because of injuries. At this time, again, we don't know the extent of this hamstring injury, but you could tell the frustration was on GP2's face. All right, one more thing I wanted to point out on the box score. The Warriors had 13 threes tonight. The Magic actually had one more. And we know the Warriors can shoot threes. And against a very tall team, either the tallest or one of the tallest in the league, they didn't have to rely on the three. That's excellent. They came at the Magic. They didn't, they weren't afraid to go to the rim or shoot the mid-range, and it got them a W.
It was pretty impressive, their ability to even, keep this points in the paint differential to what it was. One of the things that Steve Kerr mentioned in the post-game presser was talking about particularly Stephen Curry's game and his ability to watch tape, know what he has to do in order to have a good game against height, because you're not always going to get the three-point shot that you typically have. You're not always going to be able to do the step back and still create space. You're going to have to figure out a way to ensure I got to get in the pockets. And that's what he did. He dissected the defense so well, read off of screens. He was flying off of Looney screens. He was having so much fun being able to see the pockets. And I think that's what the Warriors did a really great job of, knowing their scout, knowing that these players know that they're high, they're tall. They've got that other level of play. And that one of the ways that they can capitalize is, hey, let's look between the trees. Let's look between the trees for the pockets and be able to pull up. And I really was impressed with, Andrew Wiggins had a few really nice pull-ups, JK even. And they also weren't afraid to take it to him. They got to the line quite a few times.
I'm looking at, they chose high percentage shots tonight because they only attempted 78 field goals compared to the Magic's 92. So you can see the Magic, a very quick team as well. The Warriors are too, but they went for the high percentage shots, arriving at 54% from the field. There you go. Because you know that with the shooters on this team, they could start jacking up the threes, but they were a little smarter with that. Their shot selection felt good.
And I very much appreciated that, because that's been something that the Warriors offense has struggled with, is people forcing it sometimes, especially in those late buzzer situations. I don't know how many tonight that they had in which you saw ball movement still going up until the very last buzzer, resulting in a post up right? Resulting in a great jumper on the baseline, resulting in a high quality shot. And so I appreciated the Warriors were taking their time to be able to utilize the full 24-second clock. Even if something broke down midway, they still moved the ball around to be able to get a high percentage shot.
Toughness, grit, togetherness. There you go.
There you
Want to
go.
know to start the new year. There's a
go.
piece of news. It involves Draymond. We're going to get to that when Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World, continues. Draymond in the news. He arrived on TMZ Sports. Wait a minute, TMZ Sports. I'm going to check you when we come back, okay?
Okay.
That's right. All right. I would like some water, please. Thank you.
I'm getting, guys.
What?
Mon, shout out to Mon. You just saw her beanie go across the camera, just like realizing my cotton mouth. It's perfectly fine, Mon. We needed you. Monica, you're always there. Thank you.
There's a comment from MT. He says, GP is the ultimate glue guy. Dubs look better when he's on the floor. Yes.
That's a great way to put it. He is a glue guy.
I was talking to another reporter, and as she was tweeting out something about GP2's injury, she's like, wait, is GP2 a guard or a forward? And that's kind of the thing, right? He's the shortest forward in the league because that's the way he plays. And he's just so versatile with what he does. God, the Warriors are gonna
he's
miss
versatile,
him.
but also just open, right? Just open to whatever you need.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be it.
Yeah.
Right? He'll pick up the slack. And I mean, you saw him struggle a little bit with his corner shot tonight, but there was that one particular play when he reverse laid it up against the tallest player on the floor.
Goga
I think it's Badazzi.
But they have history. When he played,
Yeah.
when Badazzi played for the Pacers, GP2 had that dunk on his head. And then remember
That's
he pointed?
right.
And they went like forehead to forehead. Oh, yeah, they have some history.
Oh, we're saying it completely wrong.
Oh,
it's
please.
Bitadze.
Batazze. Yeah. Goga
I'm so
Batazze.
sorry, Badazzi.
He's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Names are important.
Names are very important.
Eric
And that's why,
Gomes
I care
says
about mine.
GP2, Swiss Army knife. Yes, he will
Batazze.
do anything for team. And that's
Swiss
why
Army knife, glue guy. I mean, thank you all for all. I should have been saying all these. Appreciate that. I like that.
GP2 is a 7-foot center in disguise.
That's good. He's the opposite of like the kids stacking up in the coat.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World. All right, so a little bit of Draymond news. When you start the new year, you kind of look forward. When is Draymond coming back in January? Well, we don't have that answer yet. Sorry for that tease. But Steve Kerr said he has been texting with Draymond a little bit, but Draymond has not been at the facility. The way Kerr explained it is he's giving us space. We're giving him space. It is a little interesting to me, and maybe this, as I think about it, needed a follow-up. Draymond is allowed to practice with the team, but he just hasn't been here. Okay, interesting. What do you think the space will do for both sides?
I mean, that's a really great question. I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah.
Is that when this was announced, that was one of the things that actually gave a lot of people hope in terms of the fact that Draymond's going to be not playing, but he's still going to be practicing.
Yeah.
To learn that he's not even practicing with the team is, one, I think an indication of how seriously Draymond's taking it, and then also how seriously the Warriors organization are taking it to give him that space to be able to, do the work that he needs to do to be able to come back. But it also gives me an indication that when he returns, it will be a process. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's something to think about. If he's not practicing with the team, you think about physical shape.
His conditioning. Any player who's gone at this length, you wonder about their conditioning. And now to hear that he's not at the facility, what is he doing on his own?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's a professional athlete. He takes this very seriously.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that I'm sure he's doing the right things in order to keep himself in shape, or at least to be able to get back in shape quickly when the Warriors need him. But I do think that when you consider the fact that he hasn't been practicing and he's going to come back, the question about lineups has been the question all season long, right? Because of the inconsistency that the Warriors have faced. And so now when people hear, whenever Draymond comes back, let's say Draymond comes back tomorrow, not happening, but let's say he comes back tomorrow, it still doesn't mean anything because he now has to get back in shape.
Yeah.
And so so it just adds a little bit more questions, I think, a little bit more question around what it's going to look like once he returns, how long the the mix-up between the forward position because JK's playing well.
Yeah.
TJD's playing well. And that conversation, and GP2 is now out, but that, again, he plays all positions, so who knows? But there's going to be even more of a lineup question, and it extends the time that the Warriors really get to solidify that, quote, death lineup, right? That starting lineup, that closing lineup that, Draymond has notoriously and historically been in and been the glue.
Yeah, importantly.
Very importantly.
He's been in there. He's been in there well. So what has Draymond been doing in his spare time? Well, TMZ Sports jumped all over this. Draymond went to LeBron James's birthday party.
Looking fly.
No. Listen. To me, this is like man leaves house to see friend, okay? I know people have strong feelings about Draymond. They have strong feelings about his friendship with LeBron. To me, this is a huge nothing burger because just because you're in trouble at work doesn't mean you automatically go on house arrest, okay? He needs a life. Draymond needs to have his life. I have no problem with that.
What I find fascinating about people that are like us, right? Fans of sports, when people lose their sense of humanity, imagine you got suspended from work. Are you going to just want to sit in your room forever and not see anyone you know or love or want to spend time with?
No,
of course not. You're going to want to enjoy yourself, especially on a close friend's birthday.
Yes.
Imagine if anything you did while you were sick, while you were away from work, while you were on maternity leave, that people were just keeping tabs on. People, come on, y'all. This is, like you said, I like the way you put it, a nothing burger.
Yeah, nothing burger. All right, what else did Draymond do? Well, he had Christmas with his family. Look at the Christmas jammies! So his wife Hazel posted this. Look at his son. So there's DJ holding their newest baby. Oh my goodness! Yes. The Christmas jammies are so cute.
They're so cute.
And I like Draymond's smile in this one.
Yes.
Okay? He gets time with his family. Don't discount how important that is when you're going through something.
Exactly. When you're trying to get through something, you need your family to lift you up, to keep you in good spirits. They're just kind of like your bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I wonder where they got their jammies from. Those are really,
I know.
Those are cute.
Even the little one.
I know. Okay. All right. So the Warriors got the win tonight. They start the new year 1-0. What is ahead? How about a rematch with the defending champs? Okay, but the Denver comes here now. Then you got the Pistons. That'll be an occasion to see James Wiseman. And then Toronto and the Pelicans to wrap up this long homestand, a 7-game homestand spanning the end of last year and this year. When you look at the schedule ahead, Zena, Denver, that's going to be tough. But it's also a back-to-back. I don't know, 3 games in 4 days? Okay, let's see what these Warriors are made of.
Oh, 3 games in 4 days. That's a lot of time. A lot of time on the court. A lot of time with your family to start out the year. But when I think about particularly that Denver and Detroit game, I really think, one, Denver is a redemption game.
Okay.
After what happened in Christmas. And Detroit is a gut check game. Okay. That's an identity check game because Detroit is trying to come out here and do anything they can to get a win.
Yeah, that's a team that's scrambling right now.
They're scrambling right now. So the Warriors cannot allow themselves to play to the level of, quote, competition. Yeah. Even though the Pistons are good. Yeah. They're not as good as the Warriors. So.
Well, you can imagine them expending a lot of energy against Denver and being like, oh, yeah, it's the Pistons. Okay, so I don't know. The Pistons
let me clear this up between the Pistons are good individually.
There you go. No,
as a team, they need some work.
Okay, I got that. And I want to keep an eye on James Wiseman. It will be nice to see him.
It will.
All right, Zena, nice to see you. Guys, nice to see you. I'm back. Thank you for watching Dubstock Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. Somebody asked, does Draymond do Target? I don't know. Maybe they're Old Navy jammies.
They might be. That actually is a good point.
Why?
I will say I looked at Target for matching jammies.
Yeah.
And they didn't have those. So it might be an Old Navy situation. Who knows? That could be I don't know if we want to ask him that in the presser when he comes back. I feel like there's a lot more important things. That won't be my first question? Won't be my first question, but maybe someone tweet at him. Tweet at him. Jammies. See if he responds.
Christmas jammies. Yeah, Rich Dub is saying Pistons could be a trap game.
Exactly.
Yes, maybe. I just don't think the Pistons have the team talent. You're right that they have individual talent. Cade Cunningham is having a fantastic season.
But here's the thing.
Sure, tell me.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Every time people come to Chase Center, their talent just shoots through the roof.
Yeah, they seem to perform.
Miami blew out
short-handed.
the Warriors.
Yeah. No, you're
the
right.
next night,
you're right.
Lost by 30 to Utah. Okay? So there's something about people coming into the Lions' den and what has historically been the Lions then.
Yeah.
And them showing up.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just saying,
no,
Detroit.
I think you're right. I think it has hints, sprinkles of a trap game. Sprinkles, just because it's Denver beforehand. I would
Right, and it's
expend my
the
energy
back
on
end of
Denver.
exactly,
Yeah.
and the back end of
Yeah.
a back-to-back, those legs are spent. Those, you put your energy towards Denver because they're the team that you lost to on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
and obviously that is a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
That is really like, if you want to perform well
Yeah.
and tell your team that, hey, we're a good team, you play well against Denver, which means what? Potentially, your entire energy is expended
you're spent. The
for
legs
that
are-
game.
legs are toast,
And
yeah.
then the next game, you've got Detroit. And guess what?
Okay.
They're coming for whatever. They got nothing to lose. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, all right,
We
I'm
got
just
Denver
saying.
next. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, as always, for your comments, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.